the new flyers here covering the third quarter of 2023. That's July, August, and September. First, a shout out to Maddie52 at Maddie Gaming. She's got a cool channel cooking over there, so go on and check it out. She and her dad enjoy watching my videos, and she says they're like the ones that are at least an hour long. So Maddie, with any luck, we're going to get you there this week. Thanks for watching. Say hi to your dad. And a shout out to Bocce from Bocce's Blankets and More, who sent me this really neat crocheted football. Thanks, Bocce. I appreciate the love. So let's get right to it. Gearwrench has a new set of 12-point metric gearbox wrenches. These are the double flex head ratcheting box end wrenches. This is a 6-piece set with a different size on each end. Unlike their conventional gearbox wrenches that have a fixed box end and a ratcheting box end of the same size, these have ratcheting box ends on both ends with a different size on each end. So this set covers 8 to 19 with no skips. And for $239.99, that is a compellingly good price. Normally, their gearbox wrenches are far more than this, especially the ones that have flex heads. So if you can get a flex head set of wrenches like this for this price, jump on it. They are new, so that they're not currently in my distributors' warehouses, but soon enough they will be, and I'll be putting them on the truck. I have a feeling that these will be particularly popular. Prices in jacks have been fairly high for quite a long time, and I have seen them creep down a little bit. American Forge Foundry has a bunch of different offerings in this flyer. I think the best deal is for their model number 53350E. That's a 3.5 ton jack, 4.5 inch height, goes to just under 18.5 inches high, and it's a heavy duty version for $342.99. That's this jack here. Even though the saddle's a little bit higher than a low profile jack, the low profile jacks go to 3.5 inches high, which is fairly low, and most cars have more clearance than that under them. So if you don't need a low profile jack and want to save yourself at least $100, look at the American Forge Foundry ones, and that's the line here in that matrix in the flyer. That's the part number with the specs and the price. It has a 1-year warranty on it, and I know lots of shops that already use this brand of jack with great success. In fact, the tire company that we have a contract with for servicing our truck tires, Youngblood Tire, uses these a lot. They say they love them. I have a lot of faith in the brand. They've been around a long time, and they make some very high quality items. So for this price, it's worth considering if you need a 3.5 ton jack. I'm going to show you this Irwin tap and die set because I'd rather you buy a different tap and die set. And if you haven't seen a flyer drop video of mine before, you'll know that I'm not sitting here fanboying everything in the flyer. Some stuff are very good deals, some stuff are not very good deals. I'd like to steer you away from the deals that I don't think are that good and instead show you something that I think is preferential. Whether it's better quality or a lower price or whatever it is, maybe better warranties, I can usually give you something comparative within my own flyer. So I like selling from this distributor because they give me a lot of choices that give you, in turn, a lot of choices. So this is the 117-piece fractional metric tap and die set from Irwin Hansen. This is the one that has all your standard tap and die sizes plus a whole drill bit set that you can use for drilling the holes before you tap them with the proper size. So these are not your standard fractional size drill bits. It's $558.98, and I think that for what you get, it's a little expensive, and we can compare this one to the Gearwrench 114-piece standard and metric tap and die set that has all the jumbo sizes of taps and dies. It does not have the drill bit set, but that's okay. You can get away with having a smaller drill bit set. You don't necessarily need every size in the drill bit set that they give you in the Irwin set, but this Gearwrench set for $399.99, not only did the price go down from previous flyers, it was up around $480 not too long ago. So it's really great to see this come in under $400. Tough to beat even at its full price, which is still cheaper than the Irwin set. And when they put on sale like this, I suggest you grab it, because for what you get in this set, it's comprehensive. It's got a terrific set of ratcheting tap wrenches. It's got great die holders in them, and I think that you'll really love what you get with this set over the Irwin one. The Irwin one was the set that they were making for Matco and Snap-on, and I think both Matco and Snap-on have changed manufacturers for theirs, so you've seen this set under different brands. And the tap wrenches aren't that nice. They're the ones that just kind of screw on both sides. And when you're using it, they tend to work loose, and there's a lot of slop in the mechanism there anyway. They don't hold the taps or dies terribly secure. And when you compare how those tap wrenches and die collets work with the Irwin ones to the Gearwrench ones, you'll find the Gearwrench ones are superior in design and function, and the tap wrenches are beautiful. These ratcheting ones that you can palm, so it's easier for you to keep your tap and die level and plumb. I've done a whole video on this set that went over the whole thing soup to nuts, so if you're interested in checking that out, go right ahead. But I think it's where the value is. And everything in this tap and die set has a lifetime warranty. So no matter what it is, it can be replaced easily enough if it breaks. I do know somebody that gave me a link to the warranty language on Gearwrench's website, and they said otherwise. But I'll tell you this. The few things that I've ever had to replace in this set that have broken, it's usually the 1024 tap. No problems at all. My distributor covers it under warranty, so I don't know if maybe there's a different policy if you go directly to Gearwrench or not, but if you go through me, then I can get it taken care of easily enough through my distributor. So that's always been the way we've done it, and that's the way my distributor advertises it to me on their web catalog. So there might be a discrepancy there, and maybe they gave some latitude to a distributor that they don't give to themselves. That's entirely possible. So just do your homework a little bit and make sure you understand what it is you're getting. But it does also say right on the box, lifetime warranty on this. So there's a language discrepancy there somewhere, and I can't tell you exactly why. But when they put it on the box and my distributor puts it on their web catalog to me, I am confident that they have the lifetime warranty, especially because I have had to exercise it myself on occasion and have not had a problem with it. Next are the Gearwrench Pitbull dual material pliers. There's a smaller 4-piece set for $109.49 and a larger 6-piece set, $173.99. The price crept up a little bit on this by about $20. But still, for the 6-piece set, you got a 10-inch straight jaw, 12-inch straight jaw, tongue and groove plier sets, 8-inch slip joint, 8-inch long nose, and 8-inch diagonal cut plier, and the 9.5-inch lineman's plier. The grip on these is very nice and secure. They're not the dipped handles. These are the molded plastic handles with rubber inlays. So they don't slip, and they have, I don't think you can see it on this photo, but on the inside of the handles, they have some serrated jaws that are a soft grip jaw. So you can grab a workpiece and not worry about marring the surface or damaging it. So they have some versatility there, including a lanyard loop on the ends of the handles. So that if you're doing any high altitude work, or you're up on a tower or a windmill or something like that, then you can tie it off to you and not worry about dropping them. On the bottom of that display is their 5-piece bolt biter wrench insert set. And although I have not had firsthand experience with these myself, Mark DeSashin from Mid-Atlantic Tools has put these on his truck. Check out his channel too, by the way. He does a lot of great content, a lot of good tool hauls. And he has recommended these to me to carry because he says that they're pretty cool and his customers like them. So I'll probably be getting some of these on the truck in addition to the bolt biter sockets that I regularly carry. For $38.99, that's a very good price for a 5-piece set of bolt biters. The nice thing about the bolt biters is they have straight flutes so you can use them in forward or reverse, and they're really rather rugged. I have only taken care of 1 or 2 under warranty in the years that I've been selling them. So I love the sockets, and they have nut setting, the nut setter style socket as well, and then they just came out with the wrench inserts. If you need a 1-inch drive torque wrench, Gearwrench has you covered there too. Their 1-inch drive click type torque wrench spans 150 to 700 foot-pounds, and it costs $1,346.49. It's got a 24-tooth gear in it, so you're not going to be using it in tight spaces, even though they say it allows more access in tight spaces because of the teardrop-shaped head. Maybe, but you're not going to get the swing arc on this. 24 teeth on a 1-inch drive you're going a long way between clicks on that guy. But if you need a workout and you need to torque something down to 700 foot-pounds, this is the baby for you. They have great torque wrenches of all drive sizes. Their digital torque wrenches are fantastic. Those have 120 XP mechanisms with a flex head, and they beep, they vibrate, and they light up when you hit your target torque because they also do angle. So I'm a big fan of all of Gearwrench's torque wrenches. They all have 1-year warranties. Easy to calibrate and rebuild if you ever need that done too, in or out of warranty. Piece of cake. I'm going to show you these to show you better options. I like Vessel for their screwdrivers. Their JIS compliant impactor screwdrivers are excellent, and I know a lot of people who use them and love them. Even their non-impactive version of screwdriver have great handles on them, and they're rather versatile, and they're pretty heavy duty. They came out with these ballpoint hex L-key wrench sets. They have stubby, extra long, and regular long type ones. The pricing's not bad. It's right around the same price as Eklund, Bauhaus, or Gearwrench, but the Vessel ones only have a 3-year warranty. So I'm not sure that you're getting anything better here for your money, because the quality of the Eklund, Bauhaus, and Gearwrench ones are top quality, and they have lifetime warranties. So I would steer you away from the Vessel ones in favor of any of those other 3 brands, just because the pricing's the same, and you might as well go with the better warranty. Now, CTA has an interesting product here. They've got a 10-piece bolt extractor set. These are the extractors that go over the head of a rounded off bolt, and they have standard and metric sizes available with a little punch out that if you get the bolt jammed up in the socket, you can use that punch piece there in the back to knock out the socket that gets jammed in there. However, I think that if you wanted to compare this to the Gearwrench bolt biter sockets that I mentioned earlier, you're going to find a slightly better value in the Gearwrench ones. Pricing seems to be a little bit better, and I think these sockets work a little nicer because they have some features that the CTA ones do not have. Primarily, the bolt biter sizes have, say, a 10 millimeter and a 10 minus, and then a 13 millimeter and a 13 minus. And a lot of their popular sizes have minus sizes, so that if you're trying to extract a bolt that's rounded off and the regular size doesn't fit, they have a slightly smaller size that will. These are also straight fluted, so you can use them in forward or reverse. While these don't come with a knockout piece like the CTA ones do, just use a punch to knock out the bolt if it gets jammed in there. Not a big deal. You can do that yourself easily enough if you just put the thing in a vise and give it a tap with a hammer. Their Master 28-piece set is $294.99. They have a 15-piece set for $169.99. And they have half-inch, 3/8, as well as quarter-inch drive sizes as well. 5-piece is $112.99, and a 10-piece, $194.99. So I think the per-socket price is a little bit less than the CTA ones. I think these have some features that the CTA ones don't have, including a hex bolster that you can use a wrench with to turn these, or your impact if you want. Choice is yours, or a ratchet or a breaker bar. So they're much more versatile in that regard. And then, like I said, just punch out the bolt if it gets jammed in there with a punch through the backside of the socket. Now, look at that in comparison to the grip edge sockets. These are the sockets that are the RBRT sockets that Mac sells. They're made by Grip Edge for Mac, and they had an exclusive contract for a couple of years. That contract ran out. Now Grip Edge is available through a lot of your tool trucks, especially your independent ones, because one of our distributors carries them. Their prices are rather high. So you might want to think twice before you buy these. As far as I know, and I could be wrong, and if you own Grip Edge extractor sockets, please chime in and let me know. I believe the only difference between these and the bolt biter sockets from Gearwrench is these have a threaded push-out screw, and the bolt biters don't. So if that's the only difference, buy the Gearwrench bolt biters and use a punch to knock them out. You don't necessarily need that threaded piece. So for the price difference, it's, I think, a better option to go with the bolt biters from Gearwrench on this one. A lot of you have told me that I should do more with Vim, and I agree with you because Vim is an excellent brand and they make some great specialty tools. And also they have really good sockets and extensions and stuff, and they have different extension sets now that are available, including a 7-piece 3/8 drive extension set. These are the wobble extensions that have the feature where if you push the socket all the way on, the socket is fixed. But if you pull the socket out just a little bit, then it wobbles. And a lot of guys don't necessarily like the wobble ones, but you can bypass that feature by just pushing the socket on all the way. So you can have a 15-degree wobble or have it fixed. Has an 8-inch locking, an 8-inch spring-loaded dual swivel extension, and the 3/8 dual drive spring-loaded universal joint adapter. So it has some cool features to the set that you don't see in a normal extension set. We have a 7-piece quarter drive set, a 4-piece 3/8 drive non-universal set, a 4-piece quarter drive non-universal set, and down at the bottom they have a 6-piece 3/8 ratcheting flare nut wrench set. I can't speak to the ratcheting flare nut wrench set. I don't know anyone who owns one. They don't seem like they're built that strong to me, but I don't know. If you've used them, please chime in and let me know what you think. Please put it in the comments so that we can all learn from your experience. And the pricing on these extension sets are really pretty good. The 7-piece 3/8 set's $134.92. The quarter drive set's $113. The 4-piece 3/8 set is $62.27. And for just $49.80, you can get yourself in a 4-piece quarter drive set. You might think that those prices compared to any other premium brand, far less. They're probably right around what Gearwrench's pricing is. So if you have a brand preference, you're not tearing yourself up over price here. You can choose Vim or Gearwrench, or even, but I don't think Sonex or Gearwrench have quite the same offerings that they do with the universal joints and the fixed or wobble features that these have. Flare nut wrenches are few and far between. Not everybody seems to make sets of these, but Milwaukee has some very good offerings here. And I would actually give the edge to Milwaukee over the Sonex ones that I also sell. I think I'm going to be moving to putting the Milwaukee ones on the truck because these seem to be a slightly nicer wrench. They're priced really well. Their 5-piece standard set, $74.78. The 6-piece metric set is $92.48. They come in plastic trays, so you can read the sizes easily. They have a slim profile on the open ends, so you get better access. And they have a lifetime warranty on them, so you really can't go wrong. I've never had a problem with any of Milwaukee's hardline tools. I've sold a bunch of their regular combination wrenches. They also have sockets and ratchets now, which seem to be performing pretty well. People like those, and the pricing's very good. So I think it's worth giving Milwaukee a shot on a lot of their hand tools. I mean, why not? What do you have to lose at their prices, and they'll cover them forever under warranty. So, if you're in the market for new hand tools, consider bringing the Milwaukee line into your toolbox along with, Sonex and Gearwrench and V8 tools and a lot of the other brands that I carry. It's kind of hard to go wrong. I think that they've had excellent quality. Every time Milwaukee comes out with something, they seem to hit a home run with it. So I have no reason to believe that the flare nut wrenches would be any different. If you're looking for some audio options while you're working, the price just dropped on the K-Tool Portable XD Power Wireless Speaker. a couple of flyer cycles ago, this one was up to like $225. I bought a bunch of them at a time, which reduced my per unit cost, so I could afford to sell them at $180. Luckily, they just came down in price even more, so the flyer has them for less than what I was selling them for, at $174.99. It's a 60-watt speaker with 8 bass radiators. It's rather loud. Even in a larger, noisier shop, if you put this on your toolbox and don't get too far away from it, you get some pretty good volume on this. And I know a few guys who have bought this from me who work in a large transit bus facility where there's fans blowing and other music's playing and equipment and tools are being used, make it kind of loud in there. They don't have a problem hearing it. So it's been a good seller for me, and I do like their quality. In the years I've been selling them, I replaced one under warranty, and that's it. And the reason there was it lost its Bluetooth connection. It wouldn't reconnect to my customer's phone. So he came on the truck one night. He brought his speaker. We had his phone. We tested out to see if he could connect to a new one, and he did just fine. So I just took the old one, gave him the new one, and he was good to go. And he's been smiling ever since. So I think that, with electronics, where there can be a high failure rate when you compare to other tools, having just one of these fail in I don't know how many I've sold, dozens and dozens of them over the years, those are pretty good odds. If you're allowed to wear earbuds in the shop, or if you just want them for your own private use, consider the K-Tool earbuds. I use these every day myself. I really enjoy the sound quality. They block out noise, so it's nice if you're like driving with the windows down, you don't want the wind noise coming in there, but they don't knock out so much noise that you can't hear what's going on around you. So sometimes I'll just use them as earplugs. They're really comfortable because of a round rubber fitting that fits snugly in your ear, and they're capacitive touch. So with different tap sequences, you can invoke different functions of your phone. You can listen to music. You can, Bluetooth these up with your phone so that you can take calls, receive calls, and then just go right back to listening to music. Pretty seamless switching between phone functions with these. I do it all the time myself. So personally, I'm a big fan. I can recommend them to you, feeling pretty good that you're not going to be disappointed with the quality of them. And the price, when you compare this to other sets that cost well over $100 or $150, I'm not sure that you're getting a whole lot more for that extra money than you are with these. And both of these products have 1-year warranties. Now that it's the summertime and you're going to be doing AC work, you're going to need to measure temperatures of various zones in a vehicle, and this Power Probe dual zone digital wireless thermometer is an excellent tool for that. It comes with a base unit and one probe. You can buy an additional add-on probe so that you can measure 3 zones at one time. The base unit has its own measurement, and then each probe toggles between the bottom half of the display there that you can see. So the top half of that display is the base unit's sensor picking up the temperature, and then the bottom set of numbers on that display is either probe 1, probe 2, or it toggles between them. And you can choose the function that it works under there. Nice large LED LCD display, easy to read, and the base unit takes AA batteries, and the probes take AAA batteries. If you're stinking it up and sweating it out and getting crotch rot in the shop and you need some cool air blowing over you, don't consider Portacool because they're very expensive, and I'm not sure that you get anything for that extra money when you compare those to the cost of the Hessair Evaporative coolers. Hessair has been on the market now for years, and they have different sized units depending on the size area that you're looking to cool. These are evaporative coolers in that they have a water tank in the bottom, or you can hook them up to a hose and let the hose run, and it'll automatically shut off the hose for you when the tank reaches a full, and then it draws that water up and runs the water down these evaporative fins on 3 sides of the unit. And one of them has louvers that will oscillate and blow the air, crosswise. Or you can turn the louvers off and have the thing blowing directly on you all the time. And their small unit moves 1,300 cubic feet of air per minute, and it's rated for 500 square feet. They have 2 units that move 3,100 cubic feet per minute for 950 square feet. They have another one that moves 5,300 cubic feet per minute That's rated for 1,600 square feet, and they have a 5,300 cubic foot per minute one, also for 1,600 square feet, and their largest one is 11,000 cubic feet a minute, and that's rated for 3,000 square feet. The big ones are rather large, but if you want a good-sized unit for most shop sizes, any one of those 5,300 CFM units will do you just fine. And if you have a smaller area that you work in, you'll save yourself a few bucks and go to one of the two 3,100 CFM units that are great for keeping close by you in a smaller work area. I've known some guys that buy these, take them home, bring them out on their patios, and keep themselves cool at night if they're cooking on the grill or they're having family and friends over and just kind of hanging out in front of some nice cool air. The water vapor that blows out of these is noticeably cooler. And, well, I shouldn't say water vapor blows out because it doesn't. What it does, it evaporates the water by drawing hotter air across the cooling fins. So it does not increase the humidity in your shop. And honestly, most shops have the doors open anyway, so I don't know why that really matters. But the cool air that comes across the evaporating water is noticeably cooler than the ambient air in the shop by about 15 degrees. So while it's not as good as air conditioning, it's pretty noticeable when you're standing in front of it. Every time I walk in front of these, I like to stop for a second and feel it to see just how much cooler it is. And I'm never disappointed because they're easy to keep clean. You just run the fan without the water pump for about a half hour or so. It dries out the fins. You don't get buildup of mildew. And they're easy to maintain. So I'm a big fan of the Hess Air units. And, I'm doing these for a little bit less than the flyer price. I think I'm doing that 5,300 CFM one for just over $800. So you can save yourself a few bucks there. And you can buy Hess Air lots of places, so you don't have to get them obviously through me, but just look them up and see. They're sold by a lot of different retailers for less than obviously a tool truck price. So if it's something that you're looking at functionally, consider this brand for sure. If you don't want to buy a evaporative cooler, you're going to need a fan of some kind, and K-Tool has 3 offerings. Their 800 CFM floor blower for $144.99, and 2 of their utility blowers. The smaller one is 300 cubic feet per minute. The larger one's 1,200 cubic feet per minute. The 300 CFM is $96.99, and the larger one's $149.99. And the smaller one, you can't put a heater element on them. In the colder weather, they don't make a heater element for the larger one. It simply moves too much air to heat it up. Now, if you want to go cordless, then consider the M12 or M18 job site fans from Milwaukee. These are both bare tool offerings for the same price of $144.99. One runs off of any of their 12-volt batteries, and then the M18 ones run off any of the 18-volt, obviously. It's rated for 17 hours of runtime on a 5-amp-hour battery. So, obviously, the higher capacity battery you have, the longer runtime you're going to get. And these are popular if you need to tote them around the shop with you and you don't want to be tethered to that cord. I'm getting into TOPDON. A lot of guys have told me how great they are. They love their scanners. Their jump boxes look pretty cool. And I saw them advertising this Hurricano 200 battery charger. And this is interesting to me. I might get some on the truck just to see what people think. It's a power station, so you can actually run AC-powered devices off of this. And I was very intrigued by this because it has 2 AC outlets. It has USB ports, and it has a built-in flashlight, and it puts out pure sine wave AC power. It has a 1-year warranty, and for $209.99, I thought that was a pretty good price if this thing performs as well as I'm hoping it does. And I'm going to get a couple in just to see what they're like first before I kind of release them on the truck for everybody, because I don't want to sell something that I think got to perform. So I'll probably buy one for me, and then I'll put them on the truck if they're good. And I like what I see here, and I like what I've been hearing from both customers and other tool guys that sell TOPDON stuff. It seems like a very good brand. And it takes me a while to warm up to a new brand because I don't yet know how good they are. And if they don't have a long track record, it's hard to have any real history with them. So I'm tepid when it comes to introducing new brands and new products. But I'm feeling confident enough of what I've been seeing and hearing and reading that I'm going to start dipping my toe in with TOPDON. I think I'll start with this battery charger and maybe one of their jump boxes, which is rated for 3,000 peak cranking amps, and that beats NOCO that I've been a fan of for a long time, as you know, if you've watched this channel for any length of time. This one's rated to start gas engines up to 9 liters and diesel engines up to 7 liters, which is rated higher than the NOCO ones. And the pricing is way less than NOCO is. So for $234.99, you're getting a beefy little jump box here. Has a 400 lumen flashlight built in and a 1-year warranty. And the way TOPDON's warranties work is they repair or replace at their discretion during the warranty period. If it's out of the warranty period or it's not covered due to some damage that isn't covered under their policy, then they'll quote a replacement. I mean, seems pretty fair to me, and I'm eager to get this jump box in and that power station. Lighting is always popular, and when they put particularly good deals in the flyer, I like to call it out to you. I have shown you this Power Probe modular work light in the past. The price has dropped on it by about 15 bucks. It's now down to $239.99. It's got 4 250 lumen modules that pop out of their carrier unit. You plug the carrier in to charge the modules. When the modules are plugged into their little cubbies there, the module has its own power switch, so you can power up all the modules that are in the unit, or you can remove the modules individually if you want. Each module has a hook and a magnet and its own power switch. So it gives you some versatility that you don't have in any other lighting product. And I think this is the most versatile product that I know of. The ones I've sold have performed extremely well. I've had to replace some modules because they were either lost or run over. They're easy to get individually, and they cost about $70 a piece. And I think I've had to take care of one under warranty, and that was the easiest thing in the world. No matter what breaks on these, you just give me the whole assembly, and I just give you a new one. And it's got a 1-year warranty on them. So the quality, the versatility, coupled with the drop in price, I think this is the way to go right now. If you need a really good diagnostic tool that's not going to break the bank in a bidirectional scanner, a very comprehensive code reader is the Autel MX808. This little guy is terrific, and the price came down on these too. This used to be up around 800 bucks. Now it's $609.99. A nice large 7-inch touchscreen, and when you plug this thing into the OBD port, and it powers on, you get these 6 icons in the home screen. Just pick the one you want to get going on doing your diagnostics, or you can download updates, or you can use the tablet functions of this device independent of its scanning capabilities. I like the fact that it has so many features built into it, and it's just a code reader, but it gives you a lot of valuable data. Although you can't activate sensors and do tests with this, it gives you live data streams. You can reset your service lights with it. Gives you all your codes, and I think for the money, it's kind of tough to beat. Now, if you want to get into a bidirectional scanner, Autel has some very good offerings for around $2,000 that might be worth considering. The MS906, I think, is a very good one. I just took an order for one of their bigger units, which is the MS Ultra, but that's an expensive scan. That's like a $5,500 scanner. But Autel's got a lot going for them, and their support is very good after the sale. They have products that are very easy to learn and to use, and if you're like most of us, it's not necessarily an easy thing to go from one computing platform to another. And if you change brands of scanner, that's exactly what you're doing. But when you go to Autel, it's easily laid out, very simple to start navigating your way through its functions. And here's the best part. If you're already familiar with Autel's layout, they keep that same interface through all their products. So this 808 is going to navigate the same as any of their scanners do, and you don't have to relearn a different product if you just change, products. So they're uniquely positioned that way, and their modules load fast, and you're not waiting around to reload modules as you do in some of the Bosch ones and some of the Launch ones. And I'm a big fan of the way Autel puts together their scanners. And years ago, they improved their after-sales support, and I've been a big fan ever since. Now, you compare that Autel one that I was bragging about to the TOPDON RD Diag 800 BT. This is significantly less. This one is $50, $60 less than the Autel. Now, I can't tell you exactly what this one does because I'm not familiar with it, but if you look at Jimmy Making It Work, his channel has some terrific diagnostic stuff that he shows you, and he uses TOPDON products too. He uses their Phoenix series scanners, and I asked him what he thought of it. He said he likes it a lot. So check out some of his stuff too to see if you get some more information on what it's like to actually own and use TOPDON products. So I might just be putting some of these 800 BT units on the truck, a little bit less money, and you can go a long way with them if they have even if they have anywhere near the functions of the Autel ones. Let's shift gears and go to impact sockets. Sonex has a 42-piece 3/8 drive master socket set. This one has 8 standard length, standard sized sockets, 5/16 through 3/4 inch, 8 deep length standard, same size of 5/16 through 3/4, 12 standard length metric sockets 8 to 19, and 12 deep sockets 8 to 19, has a 3/8 drive universal adapter and one 3/8 extension for the low price of $149.99. I double checked this price just to be sure it was not a misprint, because I thought it was, because I've never seen a set that size for that price, and this might just be the best deal going on 3/8 drive impact sets. So get your hands on some of these if you can, because an on-truck price of that for a set like this is pretty crazy. And normally, I'm a fan of Sonex. I also like gray pneumatic for some reasons, and if it's a choice in price, go with the Sonex. They even have a slightly easier warranty process. They have a Sun Express program online that if you jump on their website, fill out an online form, attach a picture of a broken tool, they'll send you a new one. So even if you don't have a dealer like myself to handle warranty, they'll handle it for you. Other options in impact sockets are the Milwaukee Shockwave Packout sets. You get impact sockets that come in their plastic Packout cases, and these interlock with any of the other Packout modules that Milwaukee has. The pricing on these is pretty good, especially when you factor in the cost of the case. They have a 3/8 drive 19-piece metric set that goes from 6 to 24 millimeter for $144.99. A 3/8 drive 17-piece standard set that goes 1/4 to 15/16. And they also have some hexa square socket adapters and an extension, $154.99, or their big 36-piece 3/8 drive standard and metric set for $284.99. All the sockets have lifetime warranties on them, and I believe their quality to be just as good as any other premium brand. I've sold a few. Admittedly, I don't sell a lot of their impact sockets, but the only reason I don't is because I already go big into Sonex and Great Pneumatic and those guys. So if people want these, I'm happy to sell them. If they don't have the Packout system already, still, the case that these come on are pretty nice. So you're not losing anything by getting that. Just when you compare to the Sonex prices I was showing you before, that's an unbeatable deal. So, if you just want to gear up in some sockets now, go for the Sonex on price. If you want to move into the Packout system later from Milwaukee, the prices really are pretty good there too. And we'll compare these to some Gray Pneumatic pricing. These are all half-inch drive offerings, but their prices are particularly good, especially their 13-piece half-inch deep socket set that goes from 7/16 to 1 1/4 socket sizes for $119.99, and then they have a 14-piece deep metric that go from 10 to 27 for $114.99, and they have a 19-piece deep fractional that goes 7/16 to 1.5 inches. That's $234.99. A 26-piece metric set that ranges from 10 to 36 And that's only $169.99. And then you get into a bigger set here for more money, of course. It's a 26-piece deep metric from 10 to 36 for $309.99. So their pricing is really rather good. Their quality is very high. I see very little breakage on Gray Pneumatic stuff. Even if you do break it, it's very easy for me to swap them under warranty. The one downside of Gray Pneumatic is it's difficult for the end consumer to handle warranties because they don't deal directly with you. You have to go through a dealer for them. So that's the only thing to consider when you're looking at Gray Pneumatic, Sunex, or Milwaukee in this case. Who do you want to go to? Where you're going to get the better service from? If you go through your dealer, it's all the same to you. But if you don't, then you're going to have some things to consider. Staying in the Vim theme that we had going on earlier, they have this very popular 15-inch wrench extender for $63.49. Comfort grip handle, nice wide jaws on this to accept a big beam on larger size wrenches. And you compare that to the Mueller Cupes wrench extender, which is 13 and a half inches long for $85.99. So for $22 more, you're getting not much different from the Mueller one. The Mueller jaws are a little bit closer together than the Vim ones, and it does not have a comfort handle, but it does have a square drive hole on the end of the handle for a breaker bar. So if the 13 and a half inches that this gives you is not long enough, you can put a breaker bar on it and get some additional leverage. Now they have a large size wrench extender for $239.99. The thing's huge. Unless you have a particular application, like in some industrial application or something, you stick with the 13.5-inch one if you want the Mueller. And the Vim one tends to be a little more popular because it has a nicer handle on it. And it's full polish finish, it looks great. More price reductions. I always show you these bit sets because they're such a great deal, but now the price is lower. It's an even better deal. This is a Sunex 208-piece master bit set for $109.99. That just dropped $5. And it has just about every bit in there you could ever want to use, including nut setters, long and short, quarter drive, hex shank bits in all descriptions, slotted, Phillips, Torx, tamper-proof Torx, Allen. They've got security bits. They've got triple square bits in there. They have some funky shaped bits you probably will never use, but if you have some bizarre application, hey, it might just be the thing that you need. And their 38-piece mini ratchet and bit set was always popular, and the price came down a couple of bucks on this. Comes with a little quarter drive ratchet with a magnetic holder for the bits and an extension. It comes in a nice anodized red aluminum case. The Milwaukee hammers have been popular since I've been able to get them in. They hit the market not too long ago, and it took a while for me to be able to get them from my distributor. But now that I have, I'm always stocking up on these. They have 4 different dead blow hammers. They have a 16-ounce ball peen, a 28-ounce, a 32-ounce, and a 48-ounce. The hammers are constructed with shot in them that they have dead blow. They have the 2 soft-faced hammers and the 2 ball peen steel-faced hammers. They have some features I have not seen on other hammers. The tops of the heads are squared off, so you can set them down with the handle sticking up and they don't fall over. They also stamp the size right on the bottom of the handle. So if you're standing up and you set these things down next to you, you can just look down, see what the size is, and pick up the right one. It may seem like a small thing, but it saves you time. And when the name of the game in flagging hours for a living is the time that you save, and you can work a little bit faster and get the job done a little bit quicker and work on more cars every day, every week, every month, you'll save yourself some money, not on just the cost of the hammers, but you'll make more money because you're working more efficiently, and these will be one tool that allows you to do that. So when you look to become more efficient, look for design cues like that in certain tools that allow you to work faster, and Milwaukee's thinking of the details. So good on you, Milwaukee engineers. You're thinking of the details that a lot of other companies are not thinking of. The handles on these are very sure non-slip grip, and they feel really good in the hand. If you need to make a hole in something, can-cut drill bits are an outstanding choice. Let's take a look at the 29-piece mechanics length step point drill bits. This is the set that you have seen on the Mako truck. Mako had an exclusive arrangement with a manufacturer for these for a couple of years when they first came out. Now they were open to the rest of the market, and Kincut decided they were going to get in the game too, and they came on board with their own version of this set for $440.99. This set is made in the USA, as well as the metal index that it comes in. The Matco set, you will hear from some people, is made by Astro. That is technically correct, but it's not accurate. I will give you the lowdown on that after I had a long conversation with the owner of Kincut about how the drilling industry works. Matco has an arrangement with Astro to make these bits, but Astro is not a manufacturer. Astro is a private label brand, like a lot of tool companies are these days. So Astro doesn't have their own manufacturing. Rather, they've contracted with a Chinese manufacturer for those drill bits. So Matco orders them through Astro, and they're made by a Chinese company, then sent to Matco. And Matco packages them in the US in that same metal index. That metal index is made by just one company in the US. So anytime you see that kind of goofy, not quite trapezoidal shaped metal index that opens up and that has the three indexes that fold out, only made by one company here in the US. So someone might have a sticker on it made in the USA or made in America. It may not be the bits. It may just be that index. So the Matco ones made in China through Astro from a Chinese company and then sent to Matco. These Kincut ones are in fact made in the USA by a US manufacturer. There's only 4 US manufacturers of drill bits, and Kincut contracts with one of them for their product. So Kincut designs their own stuff, and then they have it manufactured to their spec by one of these contract manufacturers. And they're outstanding bits. They're harder than your average bit, so they cut through hard steel, brass, sheet metal, obviously, and acrylics, but they go through harder metals rather easily. The only bummer about having a step point bit is you really can't sharpen it, but if you use their drill bits correctly as they recommend, you probably won't have to because you won't be dulling them. And the best way to use them is to not start a pilot hole first. None of their drill bits are intended to be used in a pilot hole because you'll bypass the cutting tip of the bit if you do that. So all their drill bits are made to start the holes themselves and start with your finished size. Don't enlarge an existing hole. Drill slow and use pressure over speed, and use a cutting oil. And do not lend them to anybody, because we all know people are not careful with drill bits. But if you drop this kind of money on drill bits, you're going to be careful with them, and don't trust the guy in the bay next to you in the shop to be as careful as you are. So if you don't want the step point bits and want to spend a lot less money, you can get their 29-piece jobber length drill bit set for just $297.98. Same made in America bits using the same manufacturing process as step point bits, but these are the regular 135-degree split point tip. So they don't walk. Do not use these to start to enlarge a hole, so don't use a pilot hole, and use the same methods by using pressure instead of speed. Use oil, don't lend them out, and they'll serve you for a very, very long time. And yeah, you can sharpen these, just you can't sharpen the step point ones. So, if these get dull on you, get yourself a good drill sharpener or learn how to sharpen a drill yourself. It's a little tricky because it's a funky angle that you have to sharpen a drill bit at in order for it to work properly. You can't just put it on a grinder and call it good. So there's some nuance to that. I know machinists usually sharpen their own bits. Most mechanics don't. But it's not hard to do if you learn to do it properly. One of the best-selling items I ever had on the truck are these adjustable work tables. These are from K-Tool. I sell either the K-Tool ones or the ATD ones, depending on price. And right now, K-Tool has the best price. These range from 34 inches to 47 3/4 inches high, and you just turn a little thumb turn and raise and lower the pedals as you want, and then tighten it down to the height that you want. They have a great table on top with rubber lining and 3 sections for different parts and tools. They also have a little rack in the back for air tools and screwdrivers and pry bars. Then they have a drawer, which is really handy. They wheel very well on a fairly smooth floor. If you wanted to do any of your own upgrades to this, I would recommend putting a larger caster on them And a lot of guys I know will put a basket. I know one guy welded a wire basket to the base for extra storage. So little modifications like that can go a long way. So for $164.99 out of the box the way it is, they're good bargains. And then if you want a few upgrades, you can do that yourself. So whether you want green, red, or black, I think all colors are currently available. They have a 220-pound capacity. When you compare these to the ones from Mueller or the ones from Gearwrench, I think you're getting more for your money with the K-Tool ones. The Mueller ones have a base that fits around a wheel. I wish that K-Tool would have something like that with these, but these don't. Rather, you can slide them pretty close to a fender and get most of that table over an engine compartment. But I just wish that they would have that cooler design where you can get them around the wheel. The Mueller ones do, but they're extremely expensive. They're well over $300. And Gearwrench has a table too, but has a far lighter capacity than these, and it costs more. So bang for the buck, go with the K-Tool. I think that you cannot get, I mean, you can buy two of these for the same price as one of the Mueller ones. So, do that. I mean, you can have a lot of versatility with these. I know guys that have purchased a couple from me because they'll load one up with tools for a certain kind of job. They'll load others up with tools for different jobs, and they become much more efficient for the cost of the table. You'll make your money back pretty quick in the efficiencies that you gain. I hope you enjoyed this version of the flyer drop. I showed you some things in here that I showed you before, but there's also some nice new tools we got to talk about and show you. I hope you enjoy the comparison that'll also show you between stuff that I recommend and stuff that I don't recommend based on price, performance, quality, availability, whatever. I hope that it's good information for you to help you make your good tool purchasing decisions so that you can work safely and happily and earn as much money as you can by being as efficient as you can. So do me a favor and keep watching the channel because we've got all kinds of new stuff coming down the line, including some repairs of Cornwell half-inch drive air-operated impact tools, and of course our always popular Tools in the Hall video. So do me a favor and click down here now to subscribe so that you don't miss any of it. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, use a tool. Don't be one.